welcome to Daryo Weekly Roundup. I'm Mohinoy Nazarova, bringing you the week's top stories from Uzbekistan and the world, where economic growth, global partnership and reforms are shaping the world. Tashkent is introducing new major reforms aimed at improving air quality. Starting April 1, 2026, the city will implement an indefinite moratorium on the creation of new industrial zones under the nationwide Clean Air Initiative. The decision is part of a broader strategy to reduce emissions and relocate environmentally harmful producing facilities away from densely populated areas. Since early 2026, large industrial enterprises located in central districts have already begun gradual relocation to minimize their ecological impact. In parallel, authorities are launching the ecological transport system, which will classify city areas into red, yellow, and green zones based on population levels by the end of 2026. This zone system is expected to guide traffic regulations, industrial activity, and environmental monitoring. Green development is another key priority. Plans include tripling green areas and around the capital to 25,000 hectares and increasing green space per capita from 3 to 6 square meters. A major highlight of the initiative is the construction of a 108-hectare national dendrological park, which will serve as both as recreational and scientific hub. These combined measures reflect a long-term shift towards sustainable urban planning, aiming to improve air quality, reduce environmental risks, and enhance overall living standards in the capital. Less pollution, more greenery leads Tashkent to a more sustainable future. Tashkent is significantly expanding its environmental and climate initiatives, achieving a notable increase in national green coverage from 8% to 14.2% in recent years. The government has set an ambitious target to raise this figure to 30% by 2030 as part of its long-term sustainability strategy. A central role in this transformation is played by the Yeşil Makon initiative, under which up to 200 million trees have been planted annually over the past 5 years. As a result, more than 2,000 hectares of new green areas have been developed, including hundreds of parks, public spaces, and especially designed new Uzbekistan parks. Large-scale afforestation efforts have also been carried out across diverse landscapes. Over 256,000 hectares of mountains, deserts, and foothill areas have been greened, while approximately 2 million hectares of protective forests have been created on the dried seabed of the Aral Sea to combat environmental degradation and reduce dust storms. Another measures include the establishment of green belts stretching over 60 kilometers across multiple areas, as well as the development of modern nurseries capable of producing millions of seedlings annually. Pilot projects using drought-resistance plants are also being implemented to address soil salinization and climate challenges. The newly launched National Dendrology Park will further strengthen scientific research, environmental education, and biodiversity conservation, integrating labs, training centers, and innovation hubs. From desert to forest, Uzbekistan is building a greener future. Uzbekistan's automotive sector continues to grow steadily. More than 64,000 passenger cars produced in January-February 2026, according to official statistics. This represents an increase of nearly 7,000 units compared to the same period last year, highlighting rising production capacity and sustained domestic demand. The Chevrolet Cobalt remains the dominant model, with over 23,000 units produced, accounting for roughly one-third of total output. Other popular models include Damas, Tracker, and Onyx, reflecting strong demand for both affordable and mind-rich vehicles. At the same time, Uzbekistan's automotive industry is becoming increasingly diversified. International brands such as Kia, BYD, Haval, and Chery are expanding their presence, contributing to production volumes and technological modernization of the sector. Market demand continues to grow alongside production. Vehicle sales have shown steady year-on-year increases supported by expanding consumer access, including improvements in auto financing and loan availability. The government is also encouraging the transition toward electric vehicles and sustainable mobility solutions. Overall, Uzbekistan's automotive sector is accelerating fast. Uzbekistan continues to deepen its strategic partnership with Kazakhstan and expanding cooperation across a wide range of economic and emerging sectors. During recent high-level talks, both sides emphasized the steady growth of bilateral relations, supported by active engagement at governmental, parliamentary, regional, and business levels. Trade volumes between the two countries continue to rise, reflecting increasing economic integration within Central Asia. Particular attention was given to launching new projects. Key areas include rare metals, which are becoming increasingly important for global high-tech industries, as well as tourism, where both countries see strong potential for increasing regional travel flows. The discussions also highlighted cooperation in energy, transport, environmental protection, and water resource management, sectors that are critical for sustainable regional development. At the same time, new areas such as space technologies and the creative economy are emerging as promising spheres for collaboration. The meeting also addressed preparations for upcoming bilateral and multilateral events, as well as coordination on regional and international issues, reflecting a shared interest in stability and long-term development. From industry to innovation, Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan are growing fast. Uzbekistan is taking a major step into the space sector by holding discussions with the United States, Russia, and China on launching its first national cosmonaut. The initiative reflects the country's growing focus on science, technology, and international cooperation. Rather than developing its own launch infrastructure, Uzbekistan plans to participate in an existing space mission by purchasing a seat and sending a trained specialist to a space station. This approach allows the country to enter human scientific efficiency while gaining access to advanced research opportunities. Preparations are already underway. Authorities are currently developing selection criteria for candidates and defining mission requirements. The chosen participant will undergo intensive trainings lasting 10 to 12 months, while the space mission itself is expected to last between 10 and 14 days. The scientific program will involve leading national institutions, including research centers, as well as international partners. Planned research areas include medicine, biology, plant genetics, and material science, fields that can deliver practical benefit for both science and industry. This initiative builds on Uzbekistan's growing cooperation in space technologies, including agreements with international partners, such as US-based aerospace companies. It signals a broader ambition to integrate into the global space and innovation ecosystem. Uzbek defender Abdulqadir Khusanov has been named the Manchester City's Player of the Month for March, according to an official fan vote, further cementing his growing reputation in one of the world's most competitive football leagues. The 22-year-old secured the award ahead of top teammates, including Ballon d'Or winner Rodri and winger Jeremy Doku, highlighting the scale of his impact. This marks Khusanov's second Player of the Month award in 2026 and his third overall since joining the club in January 2025, a remarkable achievement in such a short time. His consistent performances throughout March played a key role in Manchester City's defensive stability, as the team continues competing at the highest level across domestic and international competitions. His ability to adapt quickly to the intensity of English football and deliver under pressure has made him a valuable part of Pep Guardiola's squad. Historically, the club's Player of the Month record is dominated by legends such as Kevin De Bruyne and David Silva, placing Khusanov's repeated recognition into a broader context of elite performance. For Uzbekistan, this is more than an individual award. It reflects the country's growing presence in global football and the emergence of new talent on the international stage. From potential to performance, Khusanov is making his mark. A tough group and a chance to prove everything. Uzbekistan's national football team has been drawn into Group K of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, where it will face Portugal, Colombia, DR Congo in one of the tournament's most competitive groups. The tournament, set to hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico, will be the largest World Cup in history, featuring 48 teams for the first time. Uzbekistan will begin its campaign on June 18th against Colombia at the iconic Azteca Stadium, followed by matches against Portugal and DR Congo. According to international predictions, Portugal is the clear favorite to top the group, with a 64% probability, while Colombia follows at 32%. Uzbekistan's chances of advancing are currently estimated at 2%, placing the team in the role of the underdog. Moreover, confidence is rising in Uzbekistan and investments are responding. Uzbekistan has successfully issued $1 billion in international sovereign bonds denominated in national currency, marking a major step forward in the country's financial market development. The 3-year bonds were placed at the record low yield of 12.25%, reflecting improved investor confidence and macroeconomic stability. Demand significantly exceeded expectations, with nearly 50 international investors submitting bids totaling almost $2 billion, 4 times the initial offer. This strong demand signals growing trust in Uzbekistan's economic reforms and long-term outlook, even amid global uncertainties and geopolitical tensions. Compared to previous year, borrowing costs have declined notably. Similar bonds were issued to 16.6% in 2024 and 15.5% in 2025, demonstrating a clear downward trend and improving financial conditions. The issuance followed a global investor confidence involving major financial institutions from the United States, Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, where Uzbekistan presented its economic strategy and reform agenda under the Uzbekistan 2030 framework. Importantly, this transaction represents the largest issuance of local currency bonds in emerging markets across Central and Eastern Europe, the Middle East, and Africa in the past 15 years. Stronger confidence and lower costs. Uzbekistan is gaining trust in the global market. Uzbekistan has introduced strict verification banking rules. Starting from April 22, as part of effort to strengthen cybersecurity and protect users of online financial services, the new regulations will apply to mobile apps, banking websites, and payment platforms, introducing multi-layered verification system for users' designated and transactions. One of key changes require that a user's phone number must be registered in their own name and match their personal identification data. If there is a mismatch, registration or card linking will be automatically blocked. The system will also introduce multi-factor authentication, including passwords, one-time codes, and biometric verification such as facial recognition. Advanced detection technology will ensure that users are physically present during authentication, reducing the risk of fraud. Additional safeguards include strict OTP rules. Codes must be at least 6 digits, expire within 59 seconds, and repeated incorrect attempts will temporarily block access. These were the key stories of the week. Thank you for watching Daryo Weekly Roundup. For more news and in-depth coverage, visit Daryo and follow us on social media.